Matt Manley here for Short Sports Network. We have our final player of the week for 2021. That's the Seaview Orthopedic Player of the Week, and he is John Spatola. And if you watched any of the Short Conference playoffs, you know good and well who John Spatola is because he had quite a week for the Marlboro Mustangs, who got painfully close to winning the unofficial Short Conference title this year. And John, this is kind of a unique situation for me because I'm used to talking to guys, right after they lose a heartbreaking game, maybe like 9 months to a year after they lose a heartbreaking game, after they've kind of had an off season. But it's been about a week for you. Just what's the last week been like as a group, like as you guys have kind of commiserated over that overtime loss at Manasquan? Just where are you guys collectively at? Because basically all of you are back next year, so it's gonna be an off season getting ready to get back there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm proud of my team, even though we lost. We played to the end. Respect to them; they're a good team. They're well coached. Right now we're just gonna have to go into the off season, work hard, be ready for next year.
Yeah, there's so much time. So like
Yeah,
I think most athletes are kind of like the best thing to do is just get away from it for a while. Is that kind of where you guys are at, or is there kind of a feeling about this group that the off season starts the day after the season ends?
no, we're gonna start it right back up. We're actually gonna start it tomorrow. I'm gonna all go to play basketball. So
That's pretty soon. And yeah, I mean that's kind of how the basketball calendar
yeah,
works anyway. Guys are going to pick up and start playing AU and travel and
off
everything.
season. This off season is gonna be important. Like it's a pretty long one, I think, compared to the
Yeah,
other one. So we all want to be ready for next year, especially coming this close, back to back years. We
that's
don't want
true.
this feeling again.
Yeah, and do you think I mean it's this, we're already talking about next year already, but what do you like, do you think it's going to be like, last year it was rare. You guys were sophomores and you almost did it. And
Yeah.
this year you came back as juniors. So, and it's such a weird year. It's a short season. So it just feels like there might have been some sort of safety net because you had senior year afterwards. Even coach was talking about, when I would talk to him after games, he'd say, we really want to make sure that we have a good year this year, so we're ready for next year. Do you think you guys are ready for that? Like knowing next year is the last shot for this group to just get over that hump by 2 points or 1 second, whatever the difference is between you guys and winning a championship?
Yeah, I think we're all ready. I think this our sophomore year, when I was a sophomore, we proved to other teams. But this year I feel like we actually really proved to other teams that we can play with anybody. So I feel like also we've had a lot of experience being sophomore year and junior year. So I think senior year will be good.
Yeah, and going back to last week for you, when you had the big week in the postseason, two great games to open it up in wins. You had a good, I think it was 25 against Homedale in a game you guys pulled away into the second quarter, third quarter, and then the Randy game was a fight from beginning to end. It looked like you guys were going to pull away. They gave you a little bit of a run at the end. Just tell me about that second half. Coach talked about the way you guarded Isaac Hester in the second half and how that was a big focus. Just kind of take me through just kind of the process of that game and the way that game played out with them going on that second quarter run to close the half, and then in the second half you guys just kind of kept coming at them in the third quarter, and a lot of that had to do with the way you guarded Hester and really didn't even let him get the ball much.
Well, we played them the first game. We thought we should have won. And we knew we can compete with them. So the whole game we were competing. They were up, I think the first half by 2 points or something like that. And coach came up to me and said I had to face guard him. So that's what the coach wants me to do. I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you're still able to. Do you feel like you're a guy who, a lot of times a guy has a big defensive assignment, and you know the coach will. I think everybody wants to score their points, but the coach will be like, "Listen, go do your job defensively, and don't worry about offense." But are you a guy who takes pride in saying like, my offense is not going to fall off. Like I'll go defend a guy and I'll go put up 20 like you did against Randy.
Yeah, I think I can do both, but I'm really focusing on that defense because I know I have other people on my team who can score, so I don't have to be the only one scoring.
Yeah, definitely, no question with that. And that was kind of how, that's kind of how a couple games have played out for you guys, where you and Jack Seidler will just kind of like take your little runs. He'll go on a run, you'll go on a run. You guys have a pretty good rapport in that regard. Like, do you guys have a pretty good feeling on who's hot and who to get the ball to?
Well, I think Jack can score at will at any time, so I have a lot of confidence in him. I also have a lot of confidence in my other players as well. So I've only got offensive issue. They're not.
No, no, I wouldn't say so. You're scoring
Yeah.
70 a game. Did Tell me about the Manasquan second half. They're up 10 at halftime, and they had played a bunch of close games, and they were kind of the team that would fall behind and work their way back and have the big fourth quarter. But you guys had that first stretch of the third, and I guess if you go back to their games, they've had some third quarters where they've been vulnerable. What was the talk for you guys about what you needed to do down 10 in that game to get back, not only to come back, but you guys were in the lead within like 3 or 4 minutes from when the second half started.
Well, looking at their other games, like you said, they're a very good second half team, and we were like flat the first half. We knew we had to come out even stronger. They're respect to them, they're a really good team, but we just knew we had to step up on defense. I feel like defense was our issue in that first half.
Yeah.
It's more of just guarding our man and not letting him score.
Yeah, and with the defense, like they got layups in the first half. That was kind of it. Like they did a nice job with the extra pass, but you guys really shut that down. And then down the stretch, just what was it like playing in that fourth quarter? I mean, that's a championship game. Marlboro was in a championship game several years ago when, a little before you guys got there. Just what was it like being in that spot in a program that, like you guys were close to being that Marlboro championship team last year, and that's what was on the line that night. What was it like kind of playing shot for shot? You hit that big shot to tie the game. Just some of those moments, just how did it feel being in that situation with just the intensity of the gym that wasn't full, but it felt like it in a lot of ways.
Well, those are the type of games you want to be in. Like those games are close, exciting. Um, like I said, respect to them. They're a good team. Um, I don't know.
But it was, yeah, but it was like, did you feel like even with
Special.
Jack out of the game, did you feel like you guys were on the brink there? Even when he's on the bench with his fifth foul, did you guys feel like we're on the cusp here?
Well, like obviously Jack getting fouled out, it's a big loss. But like we still thought we could have won and should have won, but didn't end up that way. But we still played hard. Proud of my team for that.
Yeah. Honest question. I don't know if you need to give an honest answer. How many times have you watched those fouls that were called on Jack in the second half there?
I don't want to complain about any calls.
I didn't ask if you. I didn't ask you to play. I just asked how many times you watched it. That's all
quite a few.
right. Me too. And we'll just basketball wise, I've asked this to guys, and I'm very interested to hear your answer because you've become a guy who's at the top of people's scouting reports on a really good team in this conference. But just kind of, what are some of your basketball influences? Like, who are guys you like to watch? Like, how have you tried to pattern your game? Is it a player? Is it a style, team? Like, where do you think you've gotten the most from your game as far as like being like a basketball influence?
I like to look at people that are good on both ends of the floor. Like a lot of people can like score and everything, but like defensively, it's what I like to take pride in. So like my favorite player is Jimmy Butler. Like I feel he's a good two-way player. He takes pride in defense. He's got a good mentality. So
Yes, you got a little Jimmy Butler, I could see that.
thank you.
Well, John, congratulations again on being the last player of the week in 2021. Very deserving for a Marlboro team that really had a great ride all year and definitely had a great ride in the last week and gave us a great game with Manasquan. It was fun to watch. I hope a lot of people got to watch it, and if you didn't, we still got it up, posted on Shore Sports Network to go watch the replay. It was a pretty great game. I hope you had as much fun playing in it as we all did watching it. So congrats again, and enjoy the shirt from Seaview Orthopedic and the gift card from Jersey Mike's, which we'll get out to you. So again, thanks a lot for the time, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, John.